brand new Martin Scorsese, Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro film, Killers of the Flower Moon, is finally here. It's opening this weekend. But are people actually amped to run out and see it? And how well can it do at the box office? And that is the theme of today's Mint Mobile hotline question of the day. Listen, guys, if you've got a topic or question for the show and you'd like to hear your voice on our show, go ahead and call our Mint Mobile hotline number anytime, 24/7. Don't worry about, the charges or anything. Ryan Reynolds will take care of that himself personally. Call us at 951-268-4259. And again, today's question is about Killers of the Flower Moon. Check it out.
Hey, John and crew. So Killers of the Flower Moon drops this week, and I'm a big fan of Scorsese, and the cast and crew all look great. The film looks like it's going to be a Oscar nominee, and the only thing holding me back is that I just am not in the mood to see 3 hours of indigenous people screwed with and killed. I don't go to a movie to walk out feeling angry, depressed, and wanting to hurt someone. Do you think that that is going to hurt the box office, the subject matter? I mean, that's it. Take care.
All right, Kevin, thanks a lot for calling that in. And it's always an interesting question because movies as a form of art, I always say, what are movies? They are experiential events, right? Particularly and specifically, they're emotional experiences that movies provide. And different movies provide different sort of emotional stimulus, whether it's excitement or dread or fear or joy or disgust or fear or whatever, right? Movies and different films and different pieces of art are all designed to elicit that sort of an emotional experience. The worst thing that a movie can do is not deliver an emotional experience. But different movies deliver different types. Horror movies aim to give us a different sort of emotional experience than, say, The 40-Year-Old Virgin aims to give us. Just like Killers of the Flower Moon, I'm sure, is aimed to give us a different kind of an emotional experience than, say, Joyride was, or maybe The Nun 2 was, or what have you. And I think on that level, it's going to succeed. Now, the question is always going to be, is there going to be a good chunk of the audience that doesn't want that type of an emotional experience? See, I got to tell you, and be honest with you, I just love when a movie can succeed in eliciting out of me that emotional response. When a movie can give me that emotional experience on whichever emotion it's kind of prodding at, I usually walk out very satisfied. Like, for example, Schindler's List, a movie I watched once. I can never watch it again. I've never seen it a second time. I probably never will. But my God, the emotional experience it gave me when I watched it. I don't know that I want it again, but I remember it just filled me with that. The Catherine Bigelow movie, Detroit, did that for me as well. Like it overwhelmed me with the emotional experience I had, but I wasn't looking forward to repeating it at the same time. So will there be some people that it turns off? Probably. But in a movie like this, some of that disturbing stuff, I would actually make the argument is necessary for a storyteller to put us as an audience in a place for something that comes later. Like, there are sometimes movies where we don't truly, they can intellectually or through dialogue explain the protagonist's state of mind. But if you can show us why our protagonist is in that state of mind, if you can have us as the audience maybe experience the emotions that the antagonist felt to lead them to the state of their mind that they're in, it draws us deeper into the movie. I'm not talking about gratuitous, unnecessary stuff, but I mean, in a movie like Killers of the Flower Moon, I think for us to really understand the story, on a certain level, some of us are going to have to experience the horror of what the people in the movie are experiencing for us to kind of get it. So will it keep some people away? Yes, but I would argue every movie will keep some people away. Some people aren't into action movies. And so if they're looking like a movie's going to be a thrill delivering kind of film, they might avoid it. Some people aren't into rom-coms or whatever. Now, right now, the box office projections for Killers of the Flower Moon are $25 to $30 million, which is not great. It's not great. but it could be one of those movies that, does like an Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer did have a big opening weekend, but beyond its opening weekend, it had incredible legs and people just went back to it again and again and again. And that is something that some Martin Scorsese movies have done at the box office, and maybe this can be it. Now, we're lucky because we've got somebody on the show with us right now who I believe, because I'm going to go see it tonight. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Fume. Quitting cold turkey is great in theory, but you and I both know it's way more difficult than that. And that's why there's a better way to break your bad habits. We're not talking about some fake online promises. We're talking about our sponsor, Fume. And they look at the problem in a different way. Instead of a drastic, uncomfortable change, why not just remove the bad from your habit? Fume is an innovative, award-winning flavor-aired device that does just that. See, instead of vapor, Fume uses flavored air. Instead of electronics, Fume is completely natural. And instead of harmful chemicals, Fume uses delicious flavors. You get it. Instead of bad, Fume is good. It's a habit you're free to enjoy and makes replacing your bad habit easy. I personally didn't know what to expect when I first got my Fume. I mean, I've never liked vapes, but my goodness, the taste. The first time I tried it, I was completely sold on it. It was incredible. Stopping is something we all put off because it's hard, but switching to Fume is easy, enjoyable, and even fun. Fume has served over 150,000 customers and has thousands of success stories, and there's no reason that can't be you. Join Fume in accelerating humanity's breakup from destructive habits by picking up the Journey Pack today. Head to tryfume.com and use the code Campea to save 10% off when you get the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com and use the code Campea to save an additional 10% off your order today. But I believe we got somebody on the show right now who has seen Killers of the Flower Moon. Sean, I believe you have seen it. How would you respond to Kevin's question there about, some people may not want to go and have that sort of experience. Will it keep people away from the theaters? What did you think about the movie overall? And do you think it's going to keep some people away?
So first off, I would say that his question is very much founded. It's a gut punch movie where you feel like you are getting punched in the gut for a lot of this movie because it's just so grotesque what was done to these people. But it's a really interesting film because it's such a specific moment in time where there are these interesting power dynamics where these indigenous people had the money, but the white American society had control of the banks, hospitals, police, and they wanted the money. And so there's this corruption going on that makes for this captivating, just utterly brutal story. But it's a great movie. Naturally, it's Scorsese telling a compelling story with an amazing cast. Naturally, it's probably going to be really good. But will that keep some people away? I was watching the movie thinking to myself, oh, my wife would hate this. There's no way my wife would want to see this. And I got about 2 hours into the movie, and I was about, if this doesn't start to turn around, if there's not some sense of justice, I think I hate this movie. Now, by the end of it, I was like, oh, this was great because it's able to find resolution without compromising the actual integrity of the horrific things happening. But it's really intense, and you should feel sick to your stomach watching this film with what truly happened to these people. But I dropped off my daughter at daycare today, and the person running was like, hey, Sean, I saw you saw Killers of the Flower Moon. Was it any good? And I was like, well, I don't know if you'll like it. It's really heavy. That was the conversation that I had. And she was like, I don't even know what the movie's about. And I'm like, well, it's about the oppression of these people trying to steal their murder money by a murder conspiracy to take out their whole family. She's like, oh, wow, that sounds really heavy. Like, that's not going to be for everyone. That's what makes it so great and so compelling and so interesting. But absolutely, this is a movie that will be alienating for some people because of the length and the subject matter. But even another conversation I had when I posted that I went to go see it, I got a message on my post about it from random lady I know. I live in the suburbs of Texas. And this lady goes, oh, my husband is so jealous that you're going to see this. He can't wait to watch it, but he's not willing to. He's too cheap to see it at the theater. He thought it would drop on streaming this weekend. Oh. So he can't wait to see it. He didn't know it was on streaming too. And these two people I talked to, the lady at daycare, the lady in the comment section, these are just totally average, normal people. They're not like us that go to the internet to talk movies. And it's on their radar. Like, these are two people I would not have thought of that would be like, hey, Sean, tell me about the new Scorsese film. And they're the two people that commented. So there is a certain awareness. There's a curiosity, but there's some confusion about, is it in theaters or just streaming? People don't know the trailers. I didn't know what the movie was about really going into it. And I'd seen the trailers. I hadn't seen all the trailers because I kind of wanted to go with some mystery, but I didn't really know from the first trailer what exactly the film was about. And so I think there's a little bit of confusion on the plot. It is very long. there's a lot of elements kind of factoring into this that could push some people away.
I'm going to say this. One of our live viewers, Muladi, just made a really interesting comment. She says, Scorsese never lives in the comfort zone. And I think that is a very accurate thing. Now, how will it do on its opening weekend? The projections are so-so. What kind of legs will it have? We'll have to wait and see as it faces Taylor Swift in its second weekend. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.